Friday, and I am doing the live love talk today instead of a Tuesday because Tuesday I was busy. I was at an event, so I couldn't do the live love talk on Tuesday. But hello, thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. I hope that you find this video, this live video, this training interesting and useful above all. This is a video that I really didn't want to make in a way, because for real, I mean, women looking for love, looking to create a long-lasting relationship with a great man, using online dating apps as a tool for that. I feel like it should be safe, but unfortunately, it's not safe all 100% of the time. So it feels like this video, it shouldn't exist. But as we know, shoots are they don't exist in real life. So this is reality. And I wanted to really, really, from the bottom of my heart, give you a comprehensive guide of how to identify an online dating scammer or catfish. I really couldn't find anything online like this, and I'm not sure why. I hope I am not stepping on something tricky here, but I feared, I'm going to do it because this is something that for sure, I wish I had when I was on my own journey of online dating back in the 2000s, before I met my now husband for almost 16 years. Unfortunately, being scammed in the online dating, being love scammed, being romance scammed, it's something that happens. And apparently it's happening more and more in 2025. 2024, it happened a lot more than in 2023, and so forth and so on. So I really wish I had this kind of information when I was doing my own dating, because it happened to me. I was scammed. The first guy that I ever dated online. It was like my baptism of fire, because there I was, all excited. Back then, it was made through websites. There weren't dating apps. That's something that happened years later. We are talking on the mid 2000s here. And so I was using a very famous, a very popular, still today is probably the #1 dating site. And to meet my guy, I wanted to get married. I wanted to create legacy with a man. I really, really wanted to do that. So I created an online profile. And sure enough, I met this guy, and he was, amazing on picture, on profile. He was really, really, really good looking and very fit. And as you know, I am into fitness and all that. And he was sweet, and he was just great. And we were texting and texting and texting for weeks. And finally, when, he kept telling me that he was going to come and visit me, that we were going to meet in person, and I didn't date anybody else. I just, it was the first guy that I liked, the first guy that things were going well. So I stopped talking to any other guys. I just solely focused my attention on this guy. And which, if you have watched my videos before, that's not what I recommend now. I recommend women to keep dating, keep their options open until we are exclusive with a guy. But I didn't know any of this. What makes me such a good love coach and dating coach is that back then there weren't any advice there. So I figured it out all on my own. So yes. So anyway, this guy is great. He's texting me all the time. I am like so excited. I am feeling like, oh my God, I met the love of my life. He's so great. Da, da, da. And then, but we weren't meeting. It was all over text. And eventually, things got to the point where he couldn't just keep stringing me along. So he said, okay, I'm going to go and visit you this day. And the night before the date, when we were going to meet in person, he completely canceled and told me that he didn't want to meet me and that it was over. So this is not the traditional catfish, which is the identity fakers. This guy wasn't an identity faker. He was real. It was him behind the screen. He wasn't either a romance scammer, which are the guys that are looking to get money out of us. He didn't ask me for money. He was more like what I call a professional manipulator. These are the kind of guys that are just after attention. And even though there wasn't any money exchange, and thank God he wasn't that kind of guy. He really, really hurt me. I was devastated, and anyway, but at the end of the video, I will tell you how I turned that around for me, and it actually ended up being the best thing that could ever happen to me. But for now, to keep it on point, I just wanted to share with you that this is something that happens to a lot of women, happens to women like me that, I was a trained psychotherapist. I knew how to read people. I was smart. I wasn't an idiot. And it happened to me anyway, because these people are very, very skilled psychologically and emotionally. They know how to get us. They have a profile of us women, certain kind of women that will fall under their spell, and they know how to manipulate us into doing it, into getting what they want from us, being that money, being that attention, being that sex, whatever it is that they want to take and not give back. So, as I said before, this is going to be a comprehensive guide of how to identify an online dating scammer or catfish, okay? Online dating has opened the doors to incredible love stories. So many people are getting married that meet on dating apps, and that's great. I love it. This is not about dating sites being bad, okay? Dating sites are really good. The thing is that there are some people, a small percentage of people on the dating sites that are not looking for love. They are looking for either money or attention or a quick fix. And so it is a breeding ground for scammers and catfish who prey on emotions, trust. Like this guy preyed on my emotions and my trust, and sometimes on wallets as well. I am so grateful that this guy didn't take any money from me, but there are a lot of people that are getting scammed and giving these people a lot of money. And so whether it's a full-on financial scam or just someone pretending to be someone they're not, identifying the red flags early can really, really save you a lot of heartache. So the best way to assess scammers and catfish is based on patterns rather than isolated behaviors, because if we only focus on isolated behaviors, it's going to be really difficult to recognize the red flags, okay? So we are looking for patterns over time. So the number one, the most common types of online dating scammers and catfish are, they usually fall into these three categories that I'm going to tell you right now. One is romance scammers. The goal of these people is to emotionally manipulate someone into sending them money, gifts, or financial assistance. Their tactics are love bombing, it's like, they love you. On the second day, they already love you, and they think they tell you they're gonna share their entire life with you. They create an emotional bond quickly, and they eventually craft an urgent financial problem. Okay. So the second kind are the catfish, that they're called, and these are the identity fakers. And their goal is to pretend to be somebody they are not, either for attention, emotional validation, or deception. And the tactic these identity fakers use is they use stolen pictures. They go to Google and download pictures from some other people, and they use them as if they're theirs. They avoid video calls because, of course, the picture doesn't reflect their face. And they don't meet in person. And then the third kind are the professional manipulators. And the goal of this third kind of scammers is to string someone along for power, attention, or an ego boost. This is a guy that got me. They don't ask you for money. It's mostly for an ego boost, okay? And their tactics is leading someone on, giving mixed signals, and future faking. This future faking, it's all about when they talk about future plans. They said, oh, I'm going to go and meet you next week, and we are going to spend 3 days together, and we are going to go and do this and do that and do that. And then something happened that they cancel, and they reschedule for the future, and they keep doing that. So that has a name in 2025. Unfortunately, it's so popular that we have a name for that, and it's future faking. Okay, they are faking a possible future with you in order to keep you hooked, in order to keep you whatever it is that they are looking, attention and ego boost. And so those are the 3 main types of online scammers. So, and now I would like to move on the classic signs of a scammer or catfish, okay? So what are the signs that they give you? And the first one is they fall in love too fast. That is called love bombing, by the way. And scammers rush emotional intimacy. For example, they start calling you babe or saying I love you way too soon. They don't know you yet, okay? They talk to you about fate, soulmates, and destiny before even meeting you. This is huge, red flag. They may pressure you into making emotional commitments quickly. So how do we get a reality check on that? Healthy relationships take time to build. There is not other way around it. If someone is emotionally intense too soon, that is a red flag, okay? So the number 2 sign that you can, keep your eye peeled and look for is they always have excuses for not meeting in person. They claim to be in the military. That's a huge one. Working overseas. They are a rig worker in Dubai. Or they're constantly traveling. They're like, oh my God, I have business in Boston, I have business in LA, I have business in Texas, and I have to travel here and there and there. So they're constantly traveling. They never have time to meet you in person. So the other one is every attempt to set a real date results in a last-minute emergency. So they do promise that they're going to meet you, and then last minute, oh, my business had a crisis and I had to fly to Texas to fix that, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? And if they promise to meet, something always conveniently comes up. Okay? The reality check, the truth of the matter is a real person who wants a relationship will make time to meet. They can't almost not help themselves. It's like they want to meet you as much as you want to meet them. It's a back and forth thing. If they can FaceTime, they can meet in person. So that is the reality. There is no other way around. Anything else but that is a red flag, okay? So the other sign is they avoid live video calls, or nowadays with the popularity of AI, they use fake video, okay? Classic catfish avoid video calls altogether, claiming their camera is broken or that they are shy. Oh my God, they say, oh, I'm too shy to be on camera, blah, blah, blah. So there are others, more sophisticated scammers that do video calls, but their feed may be blurry, so you really can see them. It's either delayed or off sync, so you can't really see their face. And some, the most sophisticated, they use AI generated faces or stolen videos to fake authenticity. So what is the reality on this? What is the real thing? Ask for real-time action, okay? Like holding up 3 fingers or saying today's date, so you know that they are the person that you are talking online. So another sign is they have an almost too perfect profile, okay? Their photos look professionally shot or model-like, because they often stole them from social media, and they usually use like famous people, they don't even make too much effort, some of them. So their interests and background seem designed to be irresistible for you. Like, oh my God, I love taking walks by the ocean in the sunset. Oh my God, that is like catnip for a woman. So if a real man with a life, with a job, that is having a life, chances are he's not going to write that down. Okay. And another one is their profile is vague, generic, or lacks personal details. So what are we looking for? What is the real thing? Render images through a reverse image search. So you go to Google reverse image with the picture. You can take a screenshot, and it will, everything that is on social media about that person is going to pop up. So if that picture belongs to a famous person, or not to them, even if they're not famous, let's say somebody steals my picture, all my social media is going to be showing up. And that's a lot, because I'm everywhere for many years. So there is no way to trick that. Okay, so let's keep moving on, because I have a lot to share today. So the other sign that he's an online dating scammer is that their story is inconsistent or full of gaps. They give different details about their backgrounds, job, or family. It's all confused. They forget things that previously told you. The life story sounds overly dramatic or like a romance novel. So a real person life is normal, okay? If their story sounds like Netflix drama, something is off, okay? So another sign is they have a strange or generic writing style. Scammers often use old grammar, broken English, or unnatural phrasing, okay? Because they are usually from overseas. A big chunk of online dating scammers come from other countries. Yes, like Southern Asia is huge right now, and Ghana, Nigeria. Those are very popular countries where seems to breed a lot of online dating scammers. So they might copy and paste generic compliments, and some use an overly romantic or formal tone that doesn't match real conversation. Okay, so the reality, what you can do to figure it out if he's real or not, is ask specific personal questions that require unique answers. If they dodge or answer vaguely, be suspicious. Okay, and as I said before, just don't focus on one thing, because sometimes these people are so well trained that they may know the answers, because if they have been doing it for a while, they probably have been scamming women for a while, so they kind of know the questions you are going to ask. So you have to go for patterns, so you have to try them all. Okay, and pretty much my advice is you should meet the guy in between 10 days that you started talking. If you cannot meet the guy in that timeline, move on. Okay, because that's the only way you are going to know. There has been women that tried all this and they got scammed anyway, because they always find a way. Okay, so the other sign that he may be a romance scammer is they introduce a financial problem or an urgent need. They say they need money for an emergency. It's either medical bills, travel, they have a business crisis, etc. Something like that. They hint at financial struggles, hoping you will offer to help. Some other people, they will ask you for money directly. They ask for gift cards, wire transfers, or lately what is huge is cryptocurrency, because it's harder to trace. Okay, so the reality check here is never, 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 ever send money to someone you have never met in person. Make it a rule. Make it a hard rule. And this applies to sending money to the person, or investing in a business that they are suggesting you to invest. Okay, if they are like, oh my God, I have so much money, I make so much money, I'm so rich, I'm so wealthy, I don't even know what to do with my money, blah blah blah, and I made it investing in cryptocurrency using this site, you could make the same amount of money investing in the same site. Would you like to do that? I can hook you up. No, no, no. Never, ever, ever, ever send money or engaged in a business transaction with somebody that you have never met in person. Okay? So real relationships are built on trust, not financial dependency. Keep them separated. Another sign is their social media presence feels off. Their social media accounts are new, sparse, or have very few personal posts. They have few friends or only random people commenting, often other fake profiles. And their pictures, their tagged pictures or personal interactions are non-existent. So yes, a real person has a social footprint. All posts, comments from their friends, and tagged photos from years back. If you see that their social media presence started 2 months ago, that's a big red flag. Okay. So number 9, oh my God, we are moving. They pressure you to move off the dating app quickly. They want to switch to WhatsApp, Telegram, or email immediately. They want your information. They want your phone number. They want your email. Okay, this is a common tactic to avoid getting reported on the dating platform. Once off the app, they escalate the relationship faster. That's when love bombing, and they start to really, really, really escalate the relationship and the emotional intensity. So to get you to manipulate you into doing what they want you to do. So the reality check is, if someone is rushing to move to another platform, ask yourself, why the hurry? I particularly recommend to not move out of the platform until you either have a Google phone number that you can get online. It's a phone number that is attached to your own phone number, but it's different, so they cannot trace your phone number. Or wait until you meet them personally. Wait until you meet them personally. If you follow my advice, my coaching, you will be meeting him in between the first 10 days. It's nothing. 10 days compared to a lifetime of love with the guy is nothing. So why the hurry? Why the hurry? Okay. And the other sign is they use future faking to keep you hooked. So they talk about marriage, meeting your family, or planning vacations together, but never follow through. They make promises about your future together, but keep delaying the first real meeting. They dangle, one day we will be together, to keep you invested, to keep you in the game. Okay, so the reality check on this is that genuine relationships are built on actions, not just words. What matters what matters is what the man does, not what he says. Of course, it's nice to hear what a man says, it's sweet, but really long-lasting relationships, healthy relationships are built on actions, not just words. So if plans never happened, there is something wrong. So those are the signs that I wanted to bring today to you. And then we are going to be talking a little bit now how to verify if someone is real. So if you are right now suspecting that you are dealing with a scammer or a catfish, you can take a few steps. The Google reverse image search, like I told you, upload their profile picture and see if it appears anywhere. Ask for a specific photo, like, can you send me a selfie holding today's newspaper? Check the social media, look for old posts, tagged photos, and real life interactions. Insist on a video call. A real person won't avoid this, but also it doesn't mean anything, okay? You need to meet them in person. That's the only way. For me, that's a hard rule because sometimes they can be on a video call and they can scam you anyway. Some people have no shame on their game. And watch for excuses. If they dodge basic questions, that's a red flag, okay? But remember that they can be way more sophisticated than that. So nothing will ever beat meeting them in person, taking it slow, and getting to know that person, and then trust them, and then rely on them, and then finally comes intimacy and commitment and other things. But first, we need to make sure. So if you have been targeted by a scammer, there are a few things you can do. So the first thing is stop contact immediately. I am suggesting you to not engage or argue, just cut them off. You may need to change phone numbers. That may be something, depending on the severity of where you are in this, engagement with him. Report them to the dating app. So most platforms have a report user feature. And if you send money, contact your bank. They may be able to reverse a transaction, but I wouldn't count on it. Unfortunately, these people are very cunning, and once you send them the money, sometimes you cannot get it back. And sometimes people get scammed 2 times by the same person, because the same person that scammed them first, that has the money, they tell the person that they are scamming that if they send them more money, they will get their money back. So I'll say count your losses and move on and learn. Warn others, if they use stolen photos, post about it to help others. And mainly focus on healing and moving on, because this is hard to go through. Scammers prey on emotions. If you feel embarrassed or hurt, remember, it's not your fault. These people are professionals at deception, okay? So the golden rule of online dating is real people act like real people. If someone seems too good to be true, okay? If someone is always telling you what you want to hear, they look like a model, they are millionaires and if he keeps making excuses, I'm going to see you next week, but oh no, my cat died, or blah, 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 or gives you a gut feeling that something is off, your intuition is telling you that something is off. Trust that instinct, okay? Cut them off. Don't play this game with these people. They are very smart. And I know they prey a lot on this mindset that most of us have, that I had, that couldn't happen to us, because we know ourselves, we know who we are, and we know we're smart. We have been, building businesses, we have been alive for a while, and we made it here. So we really don't think it's going to happen to us. I think that's the biggest thing. And but it does. It happened to me. And so now I'm going to share. At the beginning, I said, if you're still here, I'm going to tell you how this, my scamming story ended up being a good thing. So when that happened, when this guy, romanced me for weeks and then disappeared, um, and we were meeting the next day. I had baked him a cake. Okay, that's how much I knew about online dating and dating in general. So this can give you hope that if I made it, I can teach you how to make it, because I was a total rookie. Okay, I'm very naive and trusting. So anyway, I baked him a cake because in my world, that's what you do to the man. You cook for him. So when he canceled and blew me off, I got so sad and angry and everything, all the emotions, that I ate as much as I could of the cake. And then I see the cake and all the missing of the cake, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get fat. I like to be very small. So I said, what am I going to do? I just ate like 2,000 calories on this cake on top of this guy playing with me. Now what? I'm going to get fat? No, not under my watch. So the building I was living, the community I was living, had a little gym. And I have seen that they had a treadmill. I have never in my life been on a treadmill before. But I said, go to the treadmill and walk. I don't know. I just felt this call to go to the treadmill. So I went there and I ran. And I started running faster and faster and faster. And I ran like for 30 minutes. And I felt great. I was like, wow, this really helps with my emotional state. I went from feeling really like a loser, like the biggest loser in town, to feeling okay. And actually, I'm not that bad feeling now. So I kept running, and I used running as a tool to regulate my nervous system through the 200 first dates that I went in the next following 2 years. So running was my way to keep myself happy with all the up and downs of dating. And so I did that. And then I moved from Florida to Las Vegas. And if you have heard my story, I joined the running group. And the first day I went on a run with the running group, I met my now husband. So you see how it came all full circle? If it weren't for that guy that scammed me emotionally, I wouldn't maybe have gone on that run on the treadmill, and I wouldn't have discovered running. And then running really changed my life. I met my husband, and I also have done amazing things through running. I have, won a lot of races and done amazing things. So anyway, I thought I wanted to share that to give you hope that, that everything happens for a reason. And if you have been scammed, or if you are thinking that you may be scammed right now, I just want to let you know that you have the power in your hands to not only survive this, but to thrive after this. Okay? No scammer will keep you down. They may put you down, but you will bounce back like a palm tree after a hurricane. Okay? So you are smart. You are intuitive and worthy of a man who actually shows up in person, not just in your messages, okay? I'm going to say it again. You are smart, intuitive, and worthy of a man who actually shows up in person, not just in your messages. If a guy gives you even one of these red flags, remind yourself, you are the prize. Real men don't ask for money. Actions speak louder than words, big time. And your intuition, your gut feeling is always right, okay? Alrighty, my queen, thank you for listening. Send this to a friend that needs to hear this. Keep your heart open, but your standards high. The right man for you is out there. You just have to filter out the noise to find him.